Banka Pyramid representing for the big bad DJ Roddy G. Don't know it's all about Roddy for the road and Irie Jam Radio. And this is Street Beats Saturday. Keep it locked. Kabaka Pyramid said that. Check out the new rhythm Pan the Island produced by I&I, the big song Jamaica. And
big up your chest every
DJ Roddy G, play the music for the people.
No, we're not nice like Jamaica.
That is it.
Baby rock, I tell them brawling.
Irie Jam
Kabaka Pyramid.
Sports.
Hey, me fly all around, go all leap a town. Collect no euro and pound, but them not nice like Jamaica. No, we're not up like Jamaica. Lord, been all around the world, see one leap a girl. I wear enough diamond and pearl, but them not nice like Jamaica. No, we're not sweet like Jamaica. The one your name, oh what a little island nice. From the beaches to the rivers to the island spice. And we lick about with Alawa, leader we no follower. And every yard woman know for wine pan time. Just at that pan them up still regardless. Where you know Bonani and the one Marcus Garvey. World class coffee and cocoa them called chocolate. And fresh jelly water fi wash off me heart with Lord. Fly all around, go all heap a town. Collect no euro and pound, but them no nice like Jamaica. No we no up like Jamaica. Lord, been all round the world, see one heap a girl. I wear enough diamond and pearl, but them no nice like Jamaica. No we no sweet like Jamaica. Lord, you know me love fi buy me clocks down a Brixton. And me we travel go a Brooklyn in a instant. Me just shell a one show over Lisbon. But not no nice like a dance in a Kingston. Uptown Mondays and we the wedding now. Boom Sundays are gone so we heading out. Every night about 3 dance I keep on the dance from a spot all mattress and sheet. Me fly all around, go all heap a town. Collect no euro and pound, but them no nice like Jamaica. No we no up like Jamaica. Lord, been all round the world, see all heap a girl. I wear enough diamond and pearl, but them no nice like Jamaica. No we no sweet like Jamaica.
Them matter dirty like T20K. So watch when you a do and watch when you a say. Stay away from dirty bad mind ways. Them out and no fan, them no have no face.
I gotta send a big shout out to all the folks who are checked in, whatever platform you're checked in on. This is a special broadcast. Irie Jam Radio on a Saturday, but not just any Saturday. It's a Saturday where we're giving you coverage, highlights, insights, and commentary on the World Athletic Championships happening in Tokyo. Yeah, man, the Tokyo Games are on Irie Jam 97.1 FM HD3. And be sure to take full advantage of the visual and audio experience by downloading the app. But right now, I talk to the choir because if you're listening to this broadcast, that means you're already using the app. Yeah, man. Available at www.iriejamradio.com, or you get the app from your Google Play or Apple App Store. There's only one more thing for you to do. Tell our friends that over here so nice. Yeah, man. It's Irie Jam Radio, the heartbeat, the pulse of the Caribbean rhythm, Caribbean nation. And we've gone all the way to Tokyo, Japan, konnichiwa, to make sure that we can give you the highlights of the Tokyo Games. So gonna bang some music. You know we go official on Irie Jam in just about 7 minutes. At the top of the hour, we take over from my brother DJ Roy, rocking it on the express lane right now. We stand by. We'll have commentary from Daniel Jarrett, Kemal Ford, and of course, our chief sportscaster, Mr. Errol Walters himself. That's our panelists, and they'll be giving you the insights and the highlights of the Tokyo Games. So, what we say? Just tell a friend. Yeah, so it there. Go and bang some music.
Dirty bad mind, stay away.
Irie Jam Bondi.
Them matter dirty like T20K. So watch when you a do and watch when you a say. Stay away from dirty bad mind ways. Them out and no fan, them no have no face. You think you're safe, you make a sad mistake. Sleep and then we take you away. You think I lie, just pay attention, you will say. Some friends will say them love you, know your biggest enemy. Fabricate the lie, just wait on you. I just real vibes. Dirty bad mind to go away. Real vibes. No one no bad energy around way. Real vibes. Dirty bad mind to go away. Real vibes.
Long feelings of life. Tired the war and strife. Yeah, got to do the right so we can rejoice. My sisters and brothers them, we have featured the road and watch the weather, man. No matter how the pressure feels like hell, my friend, brush yourself off and lift your head again. And when we come around, now fall on the ground and love in every sound. Wait the boat is a brunga tell the town. Rastafari come to lift every frown. Long to live some life. Tired the war and strife, yes. Got to do the right so we can rejoice. Sing and shout. Long to live some life.
Yo, this Irish soldier presenting for the one and only DJ Roddy G.
Got to do the right.
Roddy G around boy. In the mix up with no darkness and no hope. Roddy G around boy. If you know say I'm a real judge and soldier. Say Roddy G, boy. Teach the youth for roots and culture. While him around, boy. Hey, all over the world, not just Jamaica. Me say Babylon, I try prefer the youth. There is no accident. Chemtrails in the sky is like don't want corrupt my oxygen. They make life harder when it could have sweet like supplement. Full of nutrition, so we have to use some supplement. Roddy G know the truth, can't teach him nothing new. Cause him a run the place and him no need no substitute. Him and them can't pollute, can't cut him from his roots. Have to put some brown fire for mute.
Bam sabadabadi bam kidam badabadam sam sabadabadi bam kidam bam sabadabadi bam kidam badabadam sam sabadabadi bam kidam ready. Baccarat you can't smell nasty.
These type of talent on the jaggy weed. I asked the most that I fall last off is DJ Roddy G.
Irie Jam
Roddy G,
Sports.
the one exclusive. Press play.
Push low. Bam sabadabadi bam kidam badabadam sam sabadabadi bam kidam bam sabadabadi bam kidam badabadam sam sabadabadi bam kidam ready. Baccarat you can't smell nasty. 12 bills for your carty. High grade in the party. Roddy G, load the coachy and passy. Custom made where your clocks be. Burst your jeans of Versace. And your woman is a natural Barbie. She make your image disgustingly classy. Now everywhere we go, I Roddy G up on the radio. I let the kids about the hydrants. Just nicely step on the island. Oh Lord, oh well. Everywhere we go, I Roddy G up on the stereo. I want a woman now for wine pan. Just nicely step on the island. Oh Lord. So yeah, so come me like. Girl, I give we room, say she want we come in night. So we bust the curtain and let some sunny night. Burst up on the trees and your mind say trust the vibes. Shatters have the tools, arms house, no bad I try. You head we get migraines if we ever bust the rise. Streets they go rum, so no bad I broke the vibes. Big dance tonight, down pan the gully side, ready. Roddy
Roddy G tell them bye bye. Just stay out and we love. Ooh yeah, Roddy G lose it. Them say we not reach nowhere. I saw the wicked them say. Hey yeah, they say Roddy G won't reach nowhere. That's what they say. I saw them say. They say Roddy G won't reach his goal. That's what they say. I saw them say. Ooh, now they say Roddy missions
impossible. And they're saying Roddy just cannot make it. But he know they're wrong, yes they're wrong. Roddy missions are possible.
And we are on a very special mission this afternoon. Gotta send a big shout out to my brother Peter G on the check-in. Hey, Peter G, it's not going to be a normal show this here Saturday. As we move to the top of the hour, as we hit that 6 o'clock mark, when we come back from the break, well, we're not break right there, so we're actually going into live commentary on the Tokyo Games. Yep, it is an Irie Jam Sports special, led by our chief sportscaster, Mr. Errol Walters. He, along with his special guest panelists, will be taking a look at what's happening over there in Tokyo at the World Athletic Championships. Yeah, that'll go on, you know. He's got the man, Daniel Jarrett. He's got Kamal Ford. And they'll be talking about all that is happening on and off the track at the Tokyo Games. We're going to be hitting that break on Irie Jam. Then when we come back, we'll be on all platforms. So Peter G, just make sure you tell your friends, them, all other athletic fans, that Irie Jam is not leaving them out at all. Now, man, we'll make sure so them get the insights and the highlights, the commentaries, the predictions as to what to anticipate at this year's World Athletic Championships on now in Tokyo. And there's one sure way to get all the information. Make sure you're using the app. I've been telling you all last week. Make sure to have the app. This is going to be an experience. It's going to be an audio-visual presentation. And the only way to get the full of it is by using the app. Where do you get the app? In your Google Play and Apple App Store. No, the team there. The full team there. Gotta send a shout out to my technical team, led this afternoon by the chief programmer herself, Electra. Hey, Electra, pick up yourself, you know. What a work today. I'm not normal. Yo! Gotta send a big shout out to the CEOs, Mr. and Mrs. Clark. Well, go on, Bobby. What's up, Sin? Well, only special occasion we can talk to Sin, but what's more special than this? I wonder if she'll come in and weigh in on the conversation. The text line will be available. You can send your messages directly to the text line. If you are on the app, that information will be presented to you. Let me see if it's there. I'm looking. Got me looking on me. I look on the information same time. I'm going to tell you, the screen nice, it bossy. Technology! From the eastern to the western. From over Japan to the New York tri-state area. Anyway, why am I talking so much? I'm standing by for that official signal. Come on for this and go over right or so. Because me watch out. Hey, hold on, I want to go on so. Shout out to DJ Roy. Look like Roy said me an exclusive. I'm full of them thing there, you know. If you're looking at me on my phone, it's because I just got a piece of music from DJ Roy. But I can't listen to that now. I have to be standing by for Electra. Electra says we are in fact live. So let me greet everyone on Irie Jam Radio 97.1 FM HD3. All the folks are browsing at www.iriejamradio.com. And those taking us on the go, all courtesy of our mobile app. Whether you got it in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, we say thank you so much for keeping it connected. Keeping it connected to the heartbeat, the pulse of the Caribbean. And today you're in for something special because the World Athletic Championships are on over there in Tokyo. And Irie Jam Radio is not leaving you out at all. We are in fact joined this evening inside Roddy for the Road, Street Beat Saturdays. This first hour of the show will be dedicated to the athletics fraternity. All the people who love track and field, this evening we are taking care of you. We've got an elite group of sports analysts on deck, and they'll be joining us to share their insights and their opinions on the progress and the games happening over there in Tokyo. We're talking about the man, Mr. Kemal Ford. We're talking about Daniel Jarrett and our chief sportscaster, Mr. Errol Walters. They are here. They are in studio, and they'll be presenting in a very special presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me introduce them this way.
Online at IrieJamRadio.com.
It's Irie Jam Radio Sports.
Sports Caribbean. Sports.
This is Irie Jam Sports, and I am Errol Walters.
Next on the decks.
Irie Jam Radio Sports.
So excited, you made my day.
Sports Extra.
The World Athletics Championships in Tokyo.
And now sports commentaries.
I'm Errol Walters. Tune in with Omilia Sports, Daniel Jarrett, and Kemal Forbes on Irie Jam Sports.
97 point.
Number 1. HD3.
Live coverage of the World Athletics Championship.
IrieJamRadio.com. Turn up.
Tell someone about
97.
The HD3.
Irie Jam Radio.
We will be bringing you all the news, all the excitement, all the attractions.
Sports Extra with
Errol Walters.
Irie Jam Radio.
Sports.
Tune in.
Irie Jam Radio Sports.
Coverage.
Celebrates at the line. That's a new lifetime best.
With that, I say good afternoon to our chief sportscaster, Mr. Errol Walters. Errol, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. DJ Roddy G.
Errol.
Bridget.
Yes, I.
You almost have the listeners wanting to just hear music. The music is so good.
Thank you. That's how we do it on a Saturday. But it's a very special occasion this weekend. In fact, how many days of sporting activities are we in for the broadcast right here on Irie Jam?
So there are 9 days. There are 9 days of the World Athletic Championship. And what we're doing is that I've assembled the team. Daniel Jarrett, Omilia Sports, Kemal Ford, Omilia Sports. These guys have their fingers on the pulse. They know everything that's happening in the world of sports, and we are going to share that with our listeners and our viewers today, courtesy of Irie Jam Sports.
Awesome. Now, I look at sports at a glance. I am not by no stretch of the imagination a sports buff or fanatic, right? I will look at it at a distance. Yeah, from Shelly and UC and just dominate. All of that nostalgia, I kind of took myself away. But you guys, you have your fingers on what is happening, everything track and field. So you'll be giving comprehensive coverage of the games for the next 9 days?
Absolutely. So Daniel is a guy that knows the athletes through and through. He's been following them for years. In actual fact, Daniel was a former athlete himself, trained with the likes of Usain Bolt. So he knows these guys intimately. He knows what they're going through right now. He's going to share that with our listeners and our viewers. Kemal, in my day, we used to have what is called the encyclopedia. Now we use Google, but it's the same thing. This guy is Mr. Knowledge. He knows everything, the stats, the dates, you name it. And that's what. So what are we bringing today? We're just going to share with our viewers and our listeners, all that's happening. The game started yesterday because Japan is hours ahead of us. Right. But really for us, it started today. And we just want to share it. This is our fireside chat of, guys getting together and telling us, we're just breaking it, dicing it up, breaking it down. And we said, what? Why not share it with our Irie Jam listeners, our viewers? Give them an insight as to what we really talk about.
Kemal, let's welcome our panelists to the show. Kemal, welcome. It is Ready for the Road. Talk to us. So what are you excited about this year's championships? Are there any underdogs that you're rooting for? What is it that you're looking most forward to for this year's World Athletics?
Definitely. Let me just say thank you all for having me. It's a good opportunity for me to talk about something such a track and field that I know and love and continue to improve upon each season. This is the 20th World Athletics Championship, formerly known as the IAAF World Championship, changed in 2019 to the World Athletics Championship. From 1983, Bert Cameron became the first Jamaican man to win gold in that 400 meters. I think running 45:05 that time. And the history continues. Merlin, Hussein, Shelley, Sharika, Veronica, Bridget, you name it, have become world champions. And it's an event that we see every 2 years. And this championship is, I'd say, the end of a championship cycle, because we've been having championship every year since COVID. Actually, next year will be an off season. So this championship, I'm looking forward to a lot of exciting performances. I I wish I could pinpoint a specific performance or performances, but I can say for sure in the sprints, I'm looking forward to the sprint, to see how Jamaica will do. Jamaica versus the US. Africa and various Caribbean countries are involved as well. Looking forward to see the hurdles as well in the women's 100-meter hurdles, where the world leader is Masaros of the US, but she's facing a lot of top athletes, Nadine Vissa, Akira Nugent, Daniel Williams, among others. And if you run that race 8 different times, the chance of getting 8 different winners is quite high. So looking forward to that, and the heat for that start in a couple of hours time. So looking forward to see how the ladies will perform as they aim to meet that final and be on the podium for the final on Monday morning.
Errol told no lie. This man is a walking encyclopedia, demonstrating his knowledge and his quick recall of history and stats. But we also want to welcome Daniel Jarrett. Daniel, welcome to the show, my brethren. Again, a similar question to you. What are you looking forward to most from this year's staging of the World Athletics Championships?
Yes, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me, gentlemen. Thank you to the staff at at Jam Radio Jam, right?
Irie Jam Radio.
Irie Jam. Sorry about that. Yes, thanks to the staff at Irie Jam Radio. And as it relates to the World Championships, I mean, I've been watching athletics. I fell in love with athletics in 2013 when I was leaving sixth form. I went to Mona High School, was a part of the track and field team. Went on to university, did track and field with MVP. So I would have trained with the likes of Shelley and Fraser Price, who I would have hung out with as well. Shelley and Fraser Price, Sherika Jackson, Asafa Powell, Michael Frater, among many others, right? And I know the type of era that existed during that time. And to now be seeing especially for the men, the men re-emerging, so to speak, and delivering in such an exceptional way. Kishan Thompson, for example, is someone who I am looking forward to delivering in that 100 meters. As it relates to the women, I'm looking forward to seeing how Shelley and Fraser Price goes through that semifinals into the finals possibly. I'm also looking forward to seeing my dark horse that not even Kemal is talking about, Sherika Jackson, right? I'm looking forward to seeing how she goes through that semifinal as well and goes into that 200 meters, right? So the 100s, the 200s, the hurdles as well is something, unfortunately, one of my favorite athletes, Megan Tapper, will not be showing in that. We'll be hearing a little bit more about that. But I'm looking forward to some crazy performances. Distance races is also something that are also races that I am looking forward to. So much to look forward to, guys, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Awesome. We are excited to have you as well. It is groundbreaking broadcasting right here on Irie Jam Radio. And without further ado, I'm going to take myself out of the conversation before it goes over my head. And I'm going to hand it over totally to you guys for the next 25 minutes or 18 minutes or so until we head into our first break. So, Errol, it is over to you to continue to lead the conversation. I'll check back with you in the half hour.
DJ Roddy, great. G, thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure. And before we kick off, I really, really want to say thank you to the team. Without the production team of Electra, Nigel, Sir Louis Grant, this would not be possible. And, I really also have to thank my special co-presenters, Daniel Jarrett, Kim from Omilia Sports. What we need to understand about sports is that in order for us to bring this type of information to you, these guys are on the ground, building relationships, learning, understanding, getting in the heads of athletes. And today, we're just going to share that with you. We're going to share the knowledge that we know. I'm a sports agent, and I'm early into this game. I met Daniel some months ago when he was covering Grand Slam, and I saw, wow, this guy is just energetic. This guy is talking to everyone. So follow his social media handles, Omilia Sports. They're doing an incredible job. The interviews are just mind blowing, and he has an incredible partnership with Kamal Ford. So everything you're seeing is factual, it's stats. It's not made up. They know what they're doing. But listen, we wouldn't have been able to do this if we didn't have the platform of Irie Jam Radio, and they've now launched into a sports session. So we really want to give a big up to Bobby and Stin Clark, because they're the guys that said, guys, you know what? Irie Jam has been doing this for 32 years, and they said, listen, let's bring sports to the community. We've been giving them the best of music for 32 years. But culture is music and sports. So that's what we're doing. So, we will try to give you everything that's in our head. We'll have a WhatsApp number there. If you have any questions, please, we're going to try and get you guests that are in Tokyo, the likes of Achilles Stewart, who is the coach of Rashawn Clark. We've got Malik James King, the former national 400 hurdler. We've got Darian Skerritt from Antigua. So not only Jamaicans, but we're looking at Caribbean athletes as well. We're talking to coaches. We're hoping to get Burton and Cameron. We will get you these. Daniel has a black book that stretches miles out. And so he's just going to pick up the phone and say, guys, the fans want to know what's going on. So listen, I'm not going to keep going. I just want to say thank you to my team for pulling this together. Nigel, Electra, Louis, thank you. And without further ado, guys, let me bring in my co-presenters, Daniel and Kemal. So, Daniel, Megan is out, right? How is she feeling right now? I know you were trying to speak to her today. What is going
on? Currently, Megan is out with a hamstring issue, but I mean, Megan has been performing throughout the season. She would have run 12:34 on 2 occasions, actually, right, this season, be equaling her PB from the Jamaica trials, right? And honestly, it is very depressing. And being an athlete myself, or former athlete rather, right? I know that an injury is something that you don't want, right? An injury is something that you don't want, especially at this point in time where competition is at its peak, right? And for Megan Tapper, knowing her story, she would have lost sponsorships throughout the years, and she would have, used her confidence and determination to bring her to this point this year, where I'm not sure if you guys would have paid attention to the posts on my page and the emotional responses that she exudes during the trials, and every time she goes out on the track, how excited she is, right, to be progressing, right, and now to hear or now to feel that she has an injury at the point where she is at the stage to deliver. It's just something that has really taken a toll on her. I heard that she hasn't said anything to the media overall, and I know that she is really distraught at the moment. And I hope and I pray that she returns to normal real soon.
So how does she get through this? What can her team do? What are they doing with her right now? How are we going to get her through this? It's the end of the season. How does she come back from this?
Through conversations. I mean, having conversations with her team. Megan would tell you that God is also a means of alleviation of the stress and the pain that she's going through right now. So she would tell you that, hey, prayer is something that takes her through it. Leaning on her towers of strength, her team, right? Her friends. These are things that really get her over the line, especially as it relates to difficult times. A big shout out to her sponsors as well, local sponsors, which includes hotels and all of those places. So these persons are behind her 100%, and I just hope that they stay that way and they have conversations with her, and she just thinks about the fact that the future is brighter, and at least she has improved this year, and she knows that she can do it, and she can come back maybe after the World Championships. I'm not sure if she's going to Atlas, but she can come back after the World Championships and deliver just as how she delivered this year, next year again.
So Kamal, so Megan is out of the picture. She won the national title. Who's stepping up from Jamaica, and who are we now seeing as the front runners?
Okay, so again, Jamaica has had a deep hurdles pool in recent times. I've seen Megan Curtis history 4 years ago at the Tokyo Olympics, becoming the first English-speaking Caribbean woman to earn an Olympic medal at a time, alongside the first Caribbean woman within that of Jasmine Camacho Quinn of Puerto Rico is out with injuries as well. Again, we have I think as well all the members on that Tokyo podium are not at Tokyo 2025, which is unfortunate. Jamaica's forerunners this season are Daniel Williams, two-time world champion. It's someone who's always surprised and made a podium. 2015, no one knew about this young 22 about to turn 23-year-old at September. No one knew who she was. Delivered strongly in Beijing 2015. Again, 4 years later in 2019, she mounted the podium by cupping a bronze medal, ending the year with the world's fastest time, 12:32, a then national record for Jamaica. Then now, 2 years ago now in Budapest, no one expected her to deliver. She's going back now with the intention of getting a new title. I've seen several interviews where she said that the aim is not to defend the title because there's a whole new title up for defense. You have Akira Nugent, who has been very much consistent from her days at Excelsior High School in Jamaica, went on to the University of Baylor University and University of Arkansas, NCAA champion, massive competitor, double Grand Slam winner, Diamond League champion this year, has been on a high since that World Indoor Championship runs, but she's just waiting for the moment things to go according to plan, and she should deliver. We have Amar Brown there as well from MVP Track Club that produced the legendary Bridget Ann Foster Hilton, Jamaica's first world champion over the hurdles. MVP is a club that is known for springing surprises, so we may never know. Again, the energy in the camp, Jamaican camp, is a bit down to an extent. Last night, things did not go according to plan in the mixed relay, but again, one thing we have learned about Jamaican athletes, once athletes come together, have that warrior type spirit, just forget about what is not going wrong, we're focusing on what can go right, and just have a successful championship.
So, we had, did you have Megan down as a medal winner?
I definitely had her making the final. Again, in the hurdles, we may never know. Sometimes when an athlete is returning to a venue at the same stadium that she won the Olympic medal, momentum and everything would be there, and everything. Like Megan was in contention to make that final. It's a very competitive event and everything, but again, it comes down to who is better on the day. It doesn't matter if you had the world record or the Olympic champion, world champion, it's who can deliver. Again, in even the case of Dana Williams, when she won in 2023, no one expected her to win. Like, she was just there out of lane 2 by herself, and there she had a great day. That could have happened for Megan again. Megan Tapper was not necessarily picked to win the national championship, and she ran 12:34 that Sunday. I went down to her, gave her a hug and talked to her, and she went over to Monaco, replicated that 12:34 was in that same 12:4 range on the Diamond League circuit. It's unfortunate that she's not going to be there. Wishing her a speedy recovery. And I've seen Megan Tapper overcome many hurdles before, literally and figuratively. Last year, the Olympic trials didn't go according to plan. A year later, coming back to meet the team again, Megan is just signed a new contract with a shoe company, expecting great things from her, because again, she has been there, done that, and has a lot more to give, and I want you to overcome these niggles and injuries.
My producer reminded me that her husband, who's part of her team, will be there to support her. So we do wish Megan the best. So I'm going to put you on the spot because we're talking about the 100-meter hurdles. Who are your predictions for the 100-meter hurdles?
Well, again, I mentioned earlier on, Masai Rosler's Olympic champion is on a mission. I think I was listening to multiple Olympic and World Championship medalists Otto Bolden recently on Instagram Live, and he said that once you basically let an athlete who is not used to winning start winning, they become a problem. Masai also went to the University of Kentucky for 4 years. Was never the best in the NCAA. She was used to getting beaten by people such as Akira Nugent and Grace Stark, who is there. Alia Armstrong. Masai became the Olympic champion last year and has been on a tear. She ran 12-1, the American record, I think 12.17 at Grand Slam track in Miami. People said that the track was too fast, whatever. She was injured after that, came back, ran 12-2s at the US Championship, won 12-1-9, a Diamond League record to win in Silesia, Poland. Masai looks to be the favorite. I have her as my gold medalist. In the silver medal position, I do have Danielle Williams. She has been there, done that as an experienced veteran. She runs better when she's an underdog. The fact that she's not necessarily a favorite per se, I believe that she potentially can be on that podium, once things align for her. In third spot, actually, I have Grace Stark of the United States. Grace Stark is somebody who is, I'd say, she's like a thief in the night per se. Has been one of those hurdlers, very much consistent over both indoors and outdoors this season. Key athletes I would never count out, because even though I call those three athletes, a few other athletes I would probably call if those two athletes don't deliver would be Akira Nugent, a Jamaican, national champion last year, national record holder at that 12.24 seconds last year in Italy. We have the likes of Nadine Visser, the Polish athlete. They ran 12-2 in Silesia, Poland recently. Nadine Visser of the Netherlands, rather. We have ran 12-2 in Poland, and we have the likes of Ditaji Kambunja as well. Again, it's hurdles, and anything happens on the day, made a better athlete to win, because trust me, it's going to be fantastic when the day comes.
So Daniel, I know you're a prediction guy as well. Do you agree with Kemal, or have you got a completely different viewpoint?
Yes. As it relates to the gold medal, I do agree with Kemal as it relates to the gold medal. I would have had the privilege of interviewing Masai after that massive 12-1-7 USA record, and she was really excited, and she also seemed very confident. Right, I've spoken to her on countless occasions, and really, really bubbly personality. I've seen her progress 12-1-7 as Kemal said, and moving on to 12-1-9, and then she ran a series of 12-2 seconds. But I'm surprised that we haven't heard or maybe I'm behind. Isn't Toby Amusan running?
Definitely, the world record holder is running, and the fact that she
Yes.
actually moved
She has
to be training Jamaican Racers Track Club as well with the legendary Glenn Mills. The world record holder, we may never know. Again, it's hurdles. It's we can make a prediction right here. But Monday, totally different thing.
Yeah, man. I really have Toby Amusan in second. Right, I've seen Toby Amusan gone 12-2 since season. Right. One of the things is that I mean, when we look at Danielle Williams, Danielle Williams would have come out victorious in the last World Championship. But when we look at the progress of the 100-meter hurdles from the last World Championship to this World Championship, we have a world record of 12.12. Am I correct, Kemal?
Yeah, 12.12 than the 2022 Eugene World Championship in the semi-final, and then she ran 12.08, win the 8 in the final to win.
All right, so we have 12.12, we have 12.17, we have 12.19, we have 12.25, we have like the 100-meter hurdles for women is in a totally different realm from the time that Danielle Williams would have win. Does she have the potential? Of course. I think that this season Danielle even set a new personal best, I believe.
12.31 at the Silesia Diamond
Yes.
in a competitive race where
In a very competitive race.
The other two athletes are in front of her and 12.2. That was like a world championship in of itself.
Wow.
Exactly. So Toby Amusan for my second place, and in third place, that's where I would have Grace Stark. So yes, that's my top three.
So Daniel, listen, we started off the World Championship. We had discus and the 4x4 mixed relays, you know, and we had a mixed bag. So Samantha, you know, through, but the 4x4 did not. Break down the 4x4. What happened with the 4x4 mixed relays?
Okay, so I was watching the race, and Javon Powell was the leader of leg. I personally didn't think that Jamaica got a really great start. A big shout out to Javon Powell, though. You know, one of my brethren from social media, but we didn't get the best of starts. So on the second leg. The second leg was really good. I believe that was Dejanay Oakley, right? Dejanay Oakley on the second leg. She did her thing and she covered some grounds, right? Zandrian Barnes on that third leg as well was really good. But I believe that Jamaica really lost it when they were on that final leg. Big shout out to Leah, but that final leg was where we really started to regress and we basically lost it. I believe that as a country, a little bit more effort and a little bit more practice can be put into these mixed relays because we have seen this as a trend. I believe last year at the Olympics, Jamaica still did not make the final, and this year again we're on to not making the final again. So it therefore says something about the practice, or it says something about the type of effort that we're putting in as a nation. And I'm not only putting I'm not putting a blame on the athletes, but more so a call to action, so to speak, to the powers that be to invest a little bit more time into perfecting that 4x400 mixed relays, because that's a medal that is something that is very, you know, a little bit
it's a bonus
easier
medal.
to get than a
So come
than a
on,
4x4 flat.
Yeah, it's
come
a
on.
bonus
When you
medal.
look at the splits, how do the splits stack up to individuals?
All right, so firstly, Javon Paul ran 45 and change, which is customary for a 400 of an opening day, because obviously it's a block start. You're getting up from the blocks and everything. It takes a lot more time to accelerate and everything. So you in the blocks getting up and everything. You lost time basically. So it's probably like a second or so behind, right?
Come on, I think we're gonna go to some music, Roddy. I think we're gonna go to some music, and then we're gonna come back and really you're gonna dissect that 4x4. Okay, Roddy, take it over, please.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You are listening to post-analysis of the opening day at the World Championships right here, Irie Jam Radio. We head into our first commercial break. When we come back, more from Errol and the entire team on the World Athletics Championships.
Irie Jam
Sports Caribbean.
Yo, this is your same boat, isn't it?
Sports. Next on the decks.
The World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. I'm Errol Waters with Omilia Sports, Daniel Jarrett, and Kamal Forbes. Coverage of the World Athletics Championship on Irie Jam Sports.
97 point.
number one.
On Friday, September the 26th, get ready for this one. It's the king of country reggae music, Gramps Morgan. It's Gramps Morgan from the Morgan Heritage Band, headlining for the very first time the No Water in My Whiskey tour. And he starts it off in Brooklyn. Friday, September the 26th, Crown Hill Theater, 715 Ashton Avenue, Brooklyn, USA.
Positive vibration.
Tickets are $60 in advance, more at the door. And for more information, log on to grahamsmorgan.com.
Rockers, that's where I'll be if you're looking for me.
The Universal Circus is coming to Newark, and we're having a one-day sale. Tickets for only $19.94. It all started in 1994, and we've got tickets to celebrate all day today for 24 hours only at universalcircus.com. Select seats and shows. It opens October 2nd in Newark, or stop by the food court at the Meals at Jersey Garden from 11 until 7. Today only.
Saturday, September 27th, Summer Stage presents Kabaka Pyramid, Lila Ike, and Federation Sound at the Coney Island Amphitheater in Brooklyn. This is a free show, Kabaka Pyramid with live band.
Red, gold, and green. We
wave the banner from you know your soul clean.
Lila Ike with her live band.
In New York, they want me, and I'm gonna be there.
Music by Federation Sound. Saturday, September 27th, Brooklyn, Coney Island.
Hey, Mr. DJ, play that one again.
Doors at 5. Showtime is 6 to 9 p.m.
Irie Jam.
It's all Shelly and Fraser Price.
Hello, this is Shelly and Fraser Price, world champion and Olympic medalist. I'm in the building. Irie Jam Radio 97.1 FM HD3. I am so excited that we're bringing the vibes live.
World Athletics Championships in Tokyo.
And now sports commentaries.
Glorious goal once again to Shelly and Fraser Price. Absolutely incredible performance.
Every race of you have a winner.
And that's what we're talking this afternoon inside Roddy for the Road. It is all about the World Athletics Championships. It is on in Tokyo. 9 days of track and field competition. And we're going to be talking about some of the activities on the infield as well. We have knowledgeable sports panelist, sports caster, Errol Walters. And today he's joined by none other than Mr. Daniel Jarrett himself and Kemal Ford. Omilia Sports, they're in the building. And we continue the conversation. So Errol, gentlemen, it's back over to you.
Thank you, DJ Roddy. So, Kemal, prior to the break, you were giving us the splits because, see, the thing is, Daniel summed it up that we are not showing the 4x4 mix the respect it deserves. It's the same color medals that you get in any race. So why is the country not taking it seriously? Can you please break down the splits and explain to us why?
All right, so on first leg for Jamaica, we had Javon Powell who split 45.49 seconds, which obviously most times you're going to expect an athlete to split 45 low and 44 high because you're coming out of a block. It's a block start. The first leg is often the slower leg. The second leg was Dejane Oakley who split 50.98. It was in most relays, in most 4x4s, the second leg is normally a bit your fastest leg or the anchor leg. And third leg we had Zandra and Bars. In fact, when you look out, when you compare even the finals and the semifinals, Zandra and Barnes had the second best split 44 seconds flat. And then we had Leah Anderson finishing up in 53.49 seconds. That's where the issue lied for Jamaica. If Jamaica had basically split 51 thereabout, tried to split as fast as Oakley did with 50.98, then it would have been in a better position. Over the year, in the inaugural session of the mixed relay at the 2019 Doha World Championship, Jamaica took it serious. And yeah, we're in the silver medal. After that, we went to the 2022. It went downhill from there. We have not necessarily had success in that event at the global level. At the regional level, yeah, NACA, Panama, etc. I've done well there. But again, a lot of Jamaica's 400 meters pool with strictly relay runners is not necessarily that deep. And if Jamaica wants to win the 4x4, the mixed 4x4 within this era, with this current crop of athletes, they would have had to call on the individual athletes. A lot of the individual athletes would have opted not to compete in this mixed relay because the 400 meters is actually the next day, which starts tomorrow. Starts on the day after the mixed 4x4. However, we have seen countries such as the Netherlands taking that approach with the athletes such as Femke Bol, Lika Klaver. Those athletes are the ones that will have individual events and make themselves available. Again, going forward, if Jamaica wants similar, we'll just have to take it a lot seriously and ensuring that Jamaica's 400 meter pool as good enough depth. Like the US, for example, within the US case, they utilize strictly relay runners and they ran 308.80 to equal their championship record with some fantastic split, 49.18 from Nina Irby Jackson and Johnny McIver running 43.91. Excellent splits from those athletes really.
So, Daniel, when we look at the 400, listen, we've seen Sydney McLaughlin decide that she's doing away with a pet event, the 400 hurdles, for the individual. So we know how competitive the 400 is going to be. Do you think that is a wise move based on the athletes and administration to be putting athletes and saying you're going to run in the individual 4, whereas you could have gotten a medal in the mixed 4x4?
Errol, I was listening to an interview. Well, I also was having conversations with persons from the federation as well as a few coaches, and one of the suggestions was to ensure that, hey, offer prize monies, offer some good money so that the persons can feel a little bit more motivated to go out and perform. Kemal would have the stats, but as it relates to performing and one day after the other, that's nothing new to a Sherika Jackson, for example, right? Sherika Jackson would have competed in a 400, a 200, a 100, right? And I believe that if the right rewards are available for athletes, then they would definitely be motivated to pushing themselves a little bit more to get involved in these different events.
So so you're talking about the administration and the conversations. Now there's a bit of a back and forth regarding the replacement of Rochelle Clayton. Break that down for us.
Yes, so Rochelle Clayton, Jamaica national champion, unfortunately will not be in the women's 400-meter hurdle starting on Monday due to injury. She's had an up and down season, finally put it together to win the Jamaica national championship. Was expected to compete in a few continental tours and the Diamond League. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to compete, which led to her missing the championship. A Sonic Walker, knockout games finalist, was expected, knockout games medalist rather, was expected to be there in place of Rochelle Clayton. Unfortunately, what I've been hearing is that all alternates that are not in relay events are not there. So the likes of Hansa Parchment is not there for the 110s. Kerika Hill is not there for the 100 meters, and Sonic Walker as well. In this position, it's been a lot of back and forth between Sonic Walker and the federation about gender testing and everything like that about her being at the meet. This is where the federation falls behind the sense that I'm a firm believer in giving alternate the same level of respect and treatment that the athletes were expected to compete in the individual event. So here's what: if you're going to say I'm going to spend additional money for hotel, for training and everything, because you may never know. You understand? You may never know if that same 400-meter hurdler might probably be in training, and you might probably say, here's what, go and run the mixed relay or something like that, and they do a good split. I've seen where athletes who have called on where there is alternates and basically go there and work magic. You understand? In the case of Sonic Walker, she has been having a good season. Pierce personal best after personal best. This would have been a good experience for her. And who doesn't want to represent Jamaica? Who doesn't want to be basically represent the black, green, and gold at the highest level?
So Daniel, so who do we hold accountable for this? Because Sunny Walker, said she was available. She was designated as the alternative. It can't be a case of expenditure. Why did she said that she was not alerted around the SRY testing, and therefore at the NACAT, it wasn't done at the trials. Athletes are all over the place. What is going on?
As it relates to accountability, I wouldn't know as much about the situation. However, as it relates to the coordination of the whole situation and everything, as I said earlier on, I think it was an offline discussion where there's a team that is assigned to execute certain things on the back end. I mean, the athletes are already on the track. They're already focused. I just got a message from Cheyenne Salmon a while ago. Cheyenne Salmon, rather. I had asked her to, come and speak with us, but she said that she's very nervous at this point, and she don't know if she can come on before her event, right? And these are the type of things that the athletes have to deal with. So as it relates to the back end, as it relates to the administrative issues, that's where the federation comes in. That's where the management team comes in. That's where the coaches come in, right? And ensure that, hey, all of these things are taken care of so that the athlete can actually focus on what he or she has in front of them.
Definitely,
Wow.
Daniel.
And so Kamal. So now, so we've lost Megan, Rochelle Clayton, who we had down as a big contender.
Yeah,
So
big contender. Yeah, Rochelle was expected to, all things being equal, Rochelle would have made the final. No, this puts Jamaica in a position where we're for the first time since the 2005 five Helsinki World Championship that Jamaica only has two representatives. Now we have the likes of Anjanette Knight and Sharon Salmon, as Daniel mentioned. In 2005, I think we had Siobhan Stoddart Nieto, representing Jamaica, Jamaica at the time in the 400-meter hurdles. This looks bad on the country, and the fact that Jamaica had our trials. We had athletes they represented, quality athletes on a whole. Sonic has been in good form this season, jumping from like 57 to running 58 to running 55. That's a massive improvement over the barriers. And again, within this position, we just have to wish athletes all the best and continue cheering them on despite the issues that have been facing from the administration. I've heard from a lot of coaches, agents, and everything about just the unorganization of things there. And it's very much messy. But again, you have to just focus on what the job at hand, and know the fact that the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory.
So now that we've lost two medal prospects, we're now looking to the sprints. We had the heats this morning. Break it down for us. Oblique had a bad start. Noah Lyles saying that he saw that he was nervous. Guys, explain this.
Hold on. Noah Lyles and Oblique was in the same heat, Kemal?
No, they weren't. They actually, he was before Noah. Oblique was in heat one, but Noah saw him on in the back.
It's funny. That interview was crazy, but as it relates to the heats, I didn't get to see the men's heats. To be honest, I fell right asleep. I had to watch the races afterwards, but Hishane looked very comfortable running his heat, right? Oblique Civil also looked comfortable coming out victorious, as well as Akeem Blake, right? So all three Jamaicans looked really comfortable. I believe Akeem Blake clocked 10:05. He was the one who didn't really break that 10-second barrier. Lyles looked good as well. He says that he is ready, right? So that is something that I'm looking forward to. As it relates to the women, right? I definitely can comment on the fact that Julian Alfred looked the best. And funny enough, the second best was Tina Clayton of Jamaica. To me, she is the person who looks the second best to Julian Alfred. As it relates to progressing, Melissa Jefferson is also there. But as it relates to progressing through the rounds and then passing that semifinals, one of the things that I always say, and I was telling Kemal earlier on, the talent is obvious. It's there. They have it. They can do great, right? But some of the outside factors, when we consider the fact that when you look beside you, you see the likes of Shelley and Fraser Price, Shakari Richardson. When you look over to the other lane, you will see Julian Alfred. And then you look over to the other lane, you see that small figure of Melissa Jefferson, right? And on top of that, you have to look up in the stands and you see thousands of people looking on. And in that introduction, when a Shelley and Fraser Price is introduced, you hear everyone cheering and all of that. And when you are introduced as Tina Clayton situation, a newcomer in that World Championships, right? You're not going to hear as much cheer for you as possible. How it is that the athletes actually shoulder these nerves and shoulders these type of situations is very important in how it is that they are going to perform, right? So if it is that Tina Clayton shoulders all of these pressures and all of these nerves properly, then I expect her to come out extremely victorious, right? So again, my
Come on,
prediction stand, but yeah.
come on. So, but listen, you're strictly a times man. So when we look at what Melissa's been doing all season, can you not start putting the goal around her neck?
Well, we'll have to. We're at the medal ceremony now, but we basically have to pause a bit. All right, let's look at it now. Melissa Jefferson wouldn't has been having a very consistent season, but so too is Julian Alfred. Is like, hey, if they look too far, they're both neck and neck. They enter the championship with the 9 fastest times collectively. From 10-6, 10-6 down to 10-7-9. 10-6 to 10-7-9, we're down. Melissa Jefferson wouldn't have the first heat, comfortable, cruising. Excellent. 10.99 seconds and I think negative 0.1 win. Excellent work from her. Julian Alfred had I'd say had the most mistakes in her race. But guess what? The fact that she was able to pick up from those mistakes and cruise to 10.93, that's very much scary. Tina Clayton as well was in a heat with 2 world championship finalists from the last time, Dina Asher-Smith and Ivo Soboda. Both of them were tied, and they had a 9-lane semifinal in 2023, and Shakira won. Excellent performance from Tina Clayton. Sherika Jackson that heat with Shakira Richardson. Let me just say this about Shakira Richardson. Shakira Richardson is quite a character, and again, in her case, she has not looked at the best. She's basically the forgotten athlete in this equation. She ran 11.03 as her season's best. Excellent performance from her to Sherika Jackson's 11.04. She will, if she wants to make that final, obviously she'll have to be running sub 11 come tomorrow morning. In her position, looks pretty good. She will be in a tough semi-final with that of Sherika Jackson and I think Darnita as well. Going to be a very tough competition from her. Again, it will come down to who can manage their nerves well. For the men, I have to give it to Kishen. Kishen was poetry in motion. They could basically write a 5-paragraph essay about Kishen Thompson's 9.95 seconds to every meter per se. Like for every 20 meter, there's a paragraph per se. Excellent performance from him, cruising. Lawal has been getting himself very sharp. Ran out through the line and Akeem Blake was there behind him. Wasn't too convincing to me. Hopefully he can put it together and run in a good race. Oblique Seville stumbled to the blocks, managed to make the semi-final on a whole. As lane 8 for tomorrow, the Africans are running Ajayi and Letowilla of South Africa. Excellent performance from him as well. The forgotten man in this equation I am seeing many people are somewhat forgetting is the Grand Slam champion himself, Mr. Grand Slam short sprinter, and that's Kenny Bednarik. Again, Kenny Bednarik has been having a good season, but again, people don't have him in for the medals. I do believe tomorrow, as my top 3 still stands from Kishen to Noah to Oblique, but if anything, if Kenny Bednarik mounts out podium, I would not be surprised.
But what about Tobago?
Tobago as well. Again, you could say Tobago has been playing possum because Tobago is somebody who knows to make championship finals. That he's an Olympic champion. He's a double world championship medalist over the 1 and the 2. I would not be surprised if he shake things up for tomorrow. It's a championship final, and you will have the person who will win the medal. The 3 persons who will win that podium is the 3 athletes who make the less mistakes. Let me just say that.
I understand. So yeah, here's the thing, guys. I want to remind our viewers of who you guys are. We've got Daniel Jarrett, Omilia Sports, Kemal Ford, Omilia Sports. These guys know these athletes. They know intimately how these athletes train, what the process is, the times. So it's not. We're not talking about just making it up and guessing. That we absolutely, Kemal, you are an encyclopedia. And so tell the viewers, when did you start collecting all this information?
Let me just say, in all my 20+ year and change here on this earth, I was introduced to this sport when I was 2 years old. My father father told me that the first meet that he made me watch was the 2004 Athens Olympics women's 200 meter final. I was just banging on the TV the time, like when Veronica Campbell at the time and Alison Felix were running, two excellent rivals in track and field over the women's 200. Since then, I over the years I began to follow the sport. My first, I'd say, big championship was the 2011 Dago World Championship when Johan Blake, won the 100 meters in the Jamaica, had an excellent championship there as well. And I've been following the sports ever since. I'm in primary school and high school every summer. When it comes on to summer, no matter what track and field event was happening, whether it might be the Olympics, World Championship, World Indoors, Commonwealth, Pan Am, NACAC, all track and field, you name it. And as I grew older, I was actually when I was younger as well, I was introduced to the NCAA system. So on anything NCAA, anything collegiate, I'm always following those athletes because a lot of those same athletes are the ones who are actually on the big stage now. If you look at Julian Alfred and Melissa Jefferson, they competed at college. In fact, Melissa Jefferson upset in 2022 to beat Julian Alfred and won the 60 meters at the NCAA indoor season. Both of them as NCAA champions and are dominating the world. So I'm just always a lover of the sport, following no matter what. That's not just only athletes competing, winning medals, but athletes' mental health. The business side of things, and I just want to continue being around the sport and just being impactful and just creating opportunities for myself and for those around me as well.
So listen, the same boat is saying that if he was running in the spikes that the athletes have now, he could have run 10.42. What's your take? 9.42. What's your take on that?
Listen, honestly, I would not be surprised that super spikes and changing of technology, nutrition, dieting, you name it, has changed. And Usain Bolt is the greatest of all time, a powerhouse by nature. And I do believe had he been, having those super spikes, that 9.5, it would have been 9.42 as the science said. And everything and that, he more than likely would have been the first and only man to go sub 19 in the 200 meters. I remember leading up to the 2016 Rio Olympics, he said that one of his goals was to actually go sub 19. Unfortunately, that did not happen and everything. But like Usain Bolt, I'm just grateful the fact that he's still in the sport, still being present, still being a person who at least can look up to, speak to, and everything. Like Julian Alfred met him recently, and she was in awe. He's one of those athletes who's offering advice.
We have 2 minutes when we have to wrap up. This has been absolutely incredible. This is a dream for me, and I really want to understand from you guys, what do you expect over the next 9 days? Daniel, you've got a minute to tell us what you want from next.
Errol,
yep.
I brought on Noel, right?
Yep.
He's here with me. Noel, are you there?
Noel?
I saw him coming a while ago. I'm not sure. All right. Yes, there he is.
Noel, please.
He's currently in Tokyo.
Yeah, Noel, you've got 3 minutes to tell us what's happening in Tokyo. We're going to have to bring you back on again. We are so delighted to have you on. The floor is yours, sir. Please tell us what's happening in Tokyo.
All right. Thank you. And, thank you for having me on your program. Well, in Tokyo, it is very interesting. Persons are on edge, wanting to see what is going to happen tonight in the 100 meters for both the men and women. It's one of the few times you will have, or probably the first time that I'm seeing the 100 meters for women and men occurring on the same night. And a lot of persons are on edge, Oblique Seville yesterday, he tested himself by, sitting in the blocks and then coming through to run 9.93 seconds, which was pretty good. But persons felt that it was a scare, but he said that he was okay. He learned to run like that many times, and so he wasn't worried. And so he's going to get it right in the semifinals. Shane Thompson looked very good. He was in a no-nonsense mood. He didn't talk to anyone in the mixed zone because he was just focused, laser focused. Noah Lyles, I still believe is the person to beat because he has a championship mentality. On the women's side, Julian Alfred, she really looked focused. She really looked like somebody who's gonna be unstoppable. But at the same time, Melissa Jefferson Wooden has not lost a 100 meters this season, and I believe that clash is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be epic. But right now, the feeling in Tokyo, persons are really expectant, and I believe we're gonna have a wonderful championships. And tonight, we're gonna see, who will come to the big dance and take all the glory. So we're looking.
No. Tell us about what is the atmosphere like in Tokyo? The producers are delighted that you're on. They've given us an extra 5 minutes. Tell us what are we missing in Tokyo? Please, we are salivating right now because we're not there. We hear the temperature is warm. We hear the crowds are massive. Paint the pictures for us. Make us feel so bad that we didn't break our piggy banks and follow you there.
Interesting that you say that, because I'm going to tell you something which you might not believe. When you go on the streets, you're not feeling that vibe that you would see in Paris, where you will see the signs all around about saying that this is the Olympics, or in Budapest, where you see all the signs to say that this is the World Championships. In Tokyo, I was a bit surprised that a lot of persons that I meet on the street, because I got lost a few times and I have to ask for directions, they didn't know that the World Championship was going on, because I was even saying to them, you would have been a great volunteer and all of those things. But when you get to the stadium now, it's a different thing, because I took a taxi to the stadium yesterday, and believe the crowd was so massive. First day, 55,000 persons. So as I said, Japan is a big country, so perhaps I was not meeting the persons who are track and field, fans. But believe you me, the atmosphere inside the stadium yesterday was electric. They really love their track and field. They come out and they support, and we love this. And believe you me, you should have been here.
So Noel,
finally.
Let me ask you one. So Noel, our listeners are WhatsApping saying, in what capacity? Are you a fan? Are you a coach? Are you an agent? Are you a parent? Why are you in Tokyo, other than you're a Jamaican and we love it? Tell us about what Noel Francis does in behind the scene and in Jamaica.
Well, first of all, I am a fan. I started out as a fan, but I have this talent to write and to bring stories to life. And I write through the spectators' eyes. And now I am a track and field writer. In fact, I am a World Athletics correspondent. I'm the World Athletics writer for the Caribbean, Jamaica and the Caribbean. And so I am here as a writer. I am working for Track Alerts, but I'm also a World Athletics writer. So if there's any athlete feature they want me to do, they will show it to me, especially from the Caribbean and the Americans. So I am here in that capacity as a track and field writer for trackalerts.com.
Daniel, go on. You want to say something, please?
Yes, Noel, what is the reception like for Jamaicans in particular? I've seen a lot of social media posts about seeing athletes dancing and all of that. How receptive are the Japanese to the Jamaicans?
Oh, they absolutely love Jamaicans over here. And I can use myself, like on the train, you get all the nods and Jamaica, because as you know, with me, I always wear my Jamaican colors everywhere. I have a different outfit for every day, every session, and I represent, and believe me, the Japanese, they are very receptive of Jamaica, and they just love us over here. I mean, and that is why I was saying earlier, like when I got lost a few times, people came over to try and assist me and all those things, and ensured that I wasn't going in the wrong direction and all of those things. But they absolutely love Jamaicans over here. Absolutely love us.
So tell me, so what are the Track Alert fans saying about Megan being injured, Rochelle being injured, and the J3 not replacing, bringing a replacement for Rochelle? What are your fans saying? How are they reacting to those news?
Well, first of all, you have to understand how the whole thing works. Even though you might name an alternate, I don't believe that the federation, because they name an alternate, the alternates are here. Because you have to remember that those are additional costs, and that they are hoping that the athletes who are selected are fit and injury free. So you're not really thinking about them having an injury and then someone else is here. So they name an alternate, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the alternates are selected and travel with the team. And so that is why when there's an injury, it is so difficult to replace the injured athlete because no arrangement was made in terms of ticket, hotel accommodation. It's unfortunate, but that is just the situation. So you can't replace them at the last minute, and that's just unfortunate. But that is how it is. So the
No,
alternates travel with the team.
no. Listen,
Understand the disappointment.
yeah.
From
Listen, your insight is amazing. We can listen. One of the reasons why I track Daniel down because he knows everybody in sports, and he delivered. He delivered tonight, bringing on an aficionado like yourself.
And I
We
would
are
say that
so
I'm happy to
appreciative.
see Kamal there. Hi, Kamal. Yes, yes.
I know.
Yes.
No, we are so appreciative of you coming on and telling us what it's like in Tokyo because listen, we the fans here. I'm in Florida. These guys are in Jamaica, and we are salivating. We should have been there, but we don't have the deep pockets like you guys. So we are living vicariously. We are living vicariously through you guys. So and you're doing a
Yeah.
wonderful job.
And I must say that I'll make myself available so if you guys like have another show or program and you just like to get some feedback because a lot of things happen in the mixed zone and so I can perhaps provide that that sort of
Well,
information.
listen, we're going to take that approach. We're covering the 9 days. We're going to have you on as often as you will allow us to, because listen,
Yes.
you are the man in the know, and especially a writer for World Athletics. So therefore, you're going to even give us the story before you give it to them.
The only thing I ask for is just for you guys to observe the time difference because we're like 13 or 14 hours ahead so
Absolutely. Well,
sometimes
Yes.
you
we,
might
we,
think
we, we apologize for waking you up out of deep sleep.
Daniel. Daniel was
No,
calling me at
No, I'm
4
a virgin,
a.m.
man.
You're virgin.
no, we just really want to thank you so much for coming on live. Our fans are excited, the viewers are ecstatic, the listeners are ecstatic. They're getting firsthand as to what is happening in Tokyo. We can't wait to get you on for the rest of the week so you can tell us what is going on, how's the mood changing as medals tables start going up, expectations, are they being met? Our hopes and dreams being crashed, dashed. So we're excited, and I have the two best analysts that I could get that are not in Tokyo, Daniel and
Yes,
Kemal,
yes,
and yeah.
yes, definitely. Hmm.
So listen, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. I really want to let Daniel and Kemal tell the fans what to expect for the rest of the week. Daniel, let's start with you first,
Well,
please.
all I can say is, since it is that we are predominantly Caribbean here, for the rest of the week, just expect a lot of fireworks. I mean, I'm not even talking about only Jamaica. I'm talking about the Caribbean on a whole. When you think about when you think about the World Athletics Championship, you're thinking about athletes like Julian Alfred. You're thinking about athletes like Shelly Fraser Price, who is actually saying goodbye to the sport this year, right? You're looking at the likes of Sherika Jackson, even the Americans. Every single athlete play a part in allowing the sport to be exciting, and that is something that you all should look forward to. And also tune in to Irie Jam as well as Omilia Sports, and remember to follow us on all platforms. Yes.
Kemal.
Definitely. Again, exciting 9 days of championship. Quality athletics is on show. This is for the last time until 2026. We'll have a big championship with all the events next year. Is ultimate championship, which is scaled back a little and everything. So, looking forward to see what will happen over the next couple of days. We have some 100-meter hurdles action later on after 9 o'clock Jamaica time. And then we have in the morning at 4 a.m. for Jamaica with women's 400 meters in a Caribbean Impact. Marley Di Paulino. We have the likes of Nikisha Price, Dejane Oakley, Stacey and Williams, a couple of Cubans as well. With the Venlo, formerly Jonathan of Haiti, formerly representing USA. Good quality track and field, and I'm just excited, just to have fun from the aspects of fun and just enjoy this World Championship.
Absolutely, and we literally, have enjoyed today. Noel, again, thank you so much for coming on. Kamal, listen, your mind is it's an encyclopedia. Listen, I don't know if you have terabytes that you store somewhere with all that stats, because it's incredible. And Daniel's black book is just unbelievable. Our fans have been given the treat that we promised. We're back again tomorrow at a later time, but we're going to give you the same hot sauce that we gave you today. Noel, we really need some scoops from you, because we know you have some things that you're not telling us, and we can't wait to have you back on so you can share some inside scoop. That's what the people are logging on for.
Errol, you have to be careful when you have the scoop, because if you're a trusted source and somebody that they see as confidential, when you go and say all of these things, sometimes the athlete won't stop and talk to you again.
We understand.
Yes.
Sometimes you can just say, listen, guys, allegedly...
In a diplomatic way.
Hey, listen, a man as traveled as you are is a diplomat, so you understand how it's done, all right? So listen, again, and firstly, I want to thank our producers, Electra and Louis Grant. I want to thank our engineer, Nigel. I want to thank DJ Roddy for banging out the tunes, and most importantly, my co-presenters, Daniel, Kamal. It's been a blast. I never expected to have so much fun. I can't wait for tomorrow. I thank you so much. This is why I love athletics. Getting close to the action. I'm not in Tokyo, but I actually feel like I'm actually there. So thank you, gentlemen. I look forward to doing this again tomorrow. Noel, please continue flying that flag, and we are waiting for those scoops. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Tokyo,
Jamaica.
Yes, man.
We will do this again tomorrow. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure being on the show. I have to get ready now to head to the stadium.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah, man. Blessings, Noel.
Yeah, bless up, Daniel. Bless up, Kamal. Respect.
And we'll do this tomorrow.
Blessings.
Wonderful.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Respect.
It's Irie Jam Radio Sports.
Sports Caribbean Sports.
Irie Jam Radio Sports.